Well, what's going on, everyone? We are here with a Let's Play World of Warcraft, The War Within. And we want to try the new character experience, and we want to go back in time. So we're going to try the human new character experience so we can see how it compares the classic Elwyn Forest beginning that everybody knows if you played WoW Classic, if you played any of the expansions. You know the human beginning storyline, and we're going to test it out in The War Within, see how it feels different, see how it feels the same, and see what we're experiencing. And now first we have the character creation screen, and you can see here with the human there are so many options now. 36 different face options, a ton of different skin tone options. We have face shape. I'm going to go with the professor mustache, of course, and the full beard. We're looking for a wizened paladin who's going to be kind of taking on the challenge of venturing out into Azeroth under the name Lightborn. And let's jump in and begin. Here we go. And we're going to be starting in Northshire Valley, of course, because we want to see how it compares to that classic experience. Lightborn. A nice intro set of gear here you can see. We're given a mace and a shield. Let's jump in and check it out. Will we have the intro cinematic? I would certainly hope.
Emboldened by the return of their heroic king, Varian Wrynn, the proud humans of Stormwind led the Alliance to victory in its war against the dreaded Lich King. While successful, the campaign in Northrend proved costly, and the humans now seek to bolster their strategic holdings throughout the world. Under Varian's daring leadership, humanity now braces itself for a renewed conflict with its perennial enemy, the Horde. Yet, as the great cataclysm rips across the world, familiar threats have once again arisen closer to home. It now falls to you to defend the kingdom and uphold the honor of humanity.
Amazing. And we're going to kick this off here in Northshire Valley. Now check out our character here. You can already see, if you've been playing WoW Classic, we have some different UI interfaces. A lot of this did change with Dragonflight. We have our skill bar here in the middle, experience bar at the bottom, our character here. Our bags are combined, which is nice. And here's our gear that we're starting with: the Paladin's chestplate, Paladin's cuffs, a full set of Paladin gear. Now let's see how this experience goes. Let's kick this off with a Marshal McBride. So you're the new recruit from Stormwind, eh? I'm Marshal McBride, commander of the garrison. Glad to have you on board. Lightborn. It's Lightborn, right? You've arrived just in time. The Blackrock Orcs have managed to sneak into Northshire through a break in the mountain. My soldiers are doing the best that they can to push them back, but I fear they'll be overwhelmed soon. Head northwest into the forest, kill the attacking Black Warg. Help my soldiers.
Be careful.
Alright, so we need to kill some wolves, and that's going to be our intro to this. Now let's see what kind of skills we have here. You can see they've changed this entire interface. Excuse me. So we have a set of Paladin skills, and then we have specific spec skills. So Holy, we have Protection, and we have Retribution. Of course, we will get those once we spec at level 10. We've also got our general skills, and the only one we're going to want to grab here is the Will to Survive. It's already on our panel here. This is the Human Racial, which in the War Within is just a removal of all stuns. So that's something that we have as a human. Our one skill that we have here is Strike the target for 20 physical damage. It's a melee attack. It generates 1 holy power, which of course, as you can see on our bar here, we're not really utilizing mana in the same way. We have a resource called Holy Power. It's used by paladins. Some abilities generate and some consume. So let's jump in and see how this goes. Let's see if we deal damage in a pretty strong way to these fellas here. Oh my gosh. Now Crusader Strike did almost full damage. I'm going to go ahead and turn on, whoops, we have an edit mode there. I'm going to go ahead and turn on, hold on now, I'm pressing the wrong thing. Auto loot, I'm going to want to turn on real quick. Great. And I think we can kind of just steamroll these Blackrock Wargs. You can see here we've generated Holy Power that only lasts for a certain amount of time, but that Crusader Strike is letting us essentially one-shot these mobs. That is certainly a different experience than the WoW Classic beginner experience, where it's going to take a little time to fight these beginner mobs. It's not going to be quite as easy as coming up here and steamrolling these fellas. Now, we don't currently have any skills that are going to let us utilize our holy power here, but when we do, I have to imagine those will be very powerful skills. And we'll just about finish him off there. So the first quest is done. Let's see how much experience we're rewarded and kind of see where the journey takes us next. Now, we do have a buff here. It's called the Warband Mentored Leveling. Experience gains increase by 5% up to level 80. Now, I don't totally know what you get this from. Maybe if you already have a level 80, you get a boost on alts. But the Warband is new in the War Within. All of your characters are part of your Warband. So things like Reputation are combined. So you can see we already have Reputation here. That's because I have a main at level 80 who's already started this journey. So those things are combined. It cuts down on the grindiness of the game, which I think is a huge, huge benefit to players all around. You've brought us little time, Lightborn, but we've got even bigger problems to deal with. And we've been given a pair of Warg Handler's gloves, we've hit level 2, and we've been given Shield of Righteousness. Now this is going to consume 3 holy power, it's going to slam enemies in front of me with my shield, causing 9 holy damage, and increasing armor for 4.5 seconds after, which is fantastic. You can see here that we're just being granted skills as we level up. We aren't actually needing to go train them, which is certainly makes things easier on the player. No need to step off, though in WoW Classic there's a real excitement to hitting that even level and then going and getting your new skills. Something very exciting there, but this is a change. It's just a ease of life change here. Now we need to find these spies, so let's go out. We're going to test how our Shield of Righteousness works. Shield of the Righteous, I'm sorry. Let's see. Does pretty good damage. Not quite as much damage as the Crusader Strike, but that armor increase buff is nice. And we need to find more of these spies who are stealthing here. That Crusader Strike is insanely overpowered. Kind of making it easy to just push through. The other thing is there's group, this has been in the game for a while now, but if you are coming from Classic, see how I have 2 things to loot here? In WoW Classic, you would have had to loot both of them. Here, I can actually just loot one, and it does an area loot, so I'll pick up everything in the area, which is another thing that's really great for quality of life. Saves you some time, makes things easier. You know, it's not the classic way things were, but it's a change they've made, and it definitely makes things a little bit faster in your leveling experience.
I'm out of range.
So certainly no problems yet. I haven't even gotten into a health concern. And we've hit level 3 already. Now we've been given our Judgment, which of course is... It deals 15 holy damage, but that'll come into play a little bit later, what Judgment's fully going to do for us. But a nice skill that we have that's now going to give us some range. There's a 30-yard range on that, so we can actually pull mobs from afar now.
Well met.
Excellent work, Lightborn. You've turned out to be quite an asset to the garrison. It's time for you to train.
For the Alliance.
I received an urgent message from Surgeon Willem. Turns out that the Blackrock Orcs have hired goblin assassins. They've ambushed our battalion behind the Abbey. Willem has asked to send a hero. You've got to go help them, Lightborn. Find Sergeant Willem north of the Abbey at the command tent. So a lot of these quests came about post the Cataclysm. And a lot of people's complaints about post Wrath of the Lich King and when the Cataclysm started is that you become less of a citizen of Elwyn Forest, for example, and you become this sort of monumental hero, which I think a lot of people find not as fun because you're suddenly this overpowered hero. You know, everybody's making you out to be this big deal, but there's something nice about just being a citizen there to help the people around you, to help some locals, and branching off to do something bigger.
You need something?
It's true, we were ambushed. I don't dare send any more soldiers out there and risk losing them too. I need a volunteer, someone willing to risk their life. Well, That sounds like the perfect opportunity for me to step in. And we've already hit level 4, and I think we've only done 3 quests, so this is a very fast pace. Have you ever seen a goblin, Lightborn? They're wretched little monsters that love only 2 things, gold and themselves. The Blackrock Orcs have enlisted the aid of goblin assassins to kill our soldiers. If you look to the field in the north, you can barely make out their silhouettes sneaking about in the grass. I need you to head out there and kill every goblin you see. They need to learn that nobody messes with the Alliance. That I can do. Now, we've also been given Flash of Light. We have our own personal heal now, which is going to be very helpful. Not that we've come anywhere near dying.
Hey there.
Brother Paxton, have you embraced the Holy Light yet, brother? It is through the Holy Light that we are saved. It's through the Holy Light that I'm able to heal these overly demanding soldiers. And it's through the Holy Light that you'll be able to venture out into the fields of the north and rescue our fallen brothers. Take this prayer book with you into the field and cast the light's healing touch on the injured.
Have a good one.
Okay, so we need to help some injured. We need to take down the goblin assassins. So let's try our ranged judgment here. Very nice looking skill. And we can heal our fallen allies.
It's too far away.
So a nice kind of mix-up in style of questing from WoW Classic. Again, we're kind of going about this with a comparison to WoW Classic review in mind. It's not just go out, kill, return. There's a little bit of a difference here. So we're actually healing some allies while also killing some enemies. So a nice mix-up, of course.
I'm out of range.
And we have that classic Elwyn Forest sound, which really is so nostalgic for all of us.
Whatever that means.
Look at the gear these goblin assassins have on. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty high quality gear for a level 3. Now, of course, these mobs actually are going to scale in level, I do believe. So they'll be around our level no matter what. Let's go return in. Just a small sip of coffee here. Excellent. Brother Paxton,
Day to you.
I think you now understand the power of the light. The light gives hope, brother, and the light taketh from the darkness. Blessed be the light. And we've been given the Wolf Hunter's vest, so we're upgrading gear here pretty quickly, and it looks really nice, this gear. They've done a nice job on the low-level gear that looks, quite frankly, like high-level gear in WoW Classic.
Hello.
That'll teach those monsters. They'll think twice before taking another mercenary job for orcs.
Have a good one.
And we've gotten some boots here, fantastic. Excellent work, Lightborn. The rear is now officially clear. We'll take care of the stragglers. I want you to go back to Marshal McBride, standing in front of Northshire Abbey, south of here. Let him know the goblin situation's under control. Farewell, Paladin. Alright, so we've dealt with the Blackrock Orcs, we've dealt with their spies, we've dealt with the goblins. We're kind of handling a lot of the issues at bay here in Northshire Abbey, making sure the people, the citizens, are safe.
What can I do for you?
With your help, we've managed to secure the northern and western sectors of Northshire. We still have a rather large contingency of Blackrock Orcs to the east, and they've begun burning down the forest.
Be careful.
The Orcs have begun burning the forest, Lightborn. They've taken over the vineyard to the east and are planning their final assault against us. They must be stopped. Head east across the river and kill the rampaging Blackrock Orcs. Collect their weapons as proof of their demise and return to me.
Go with honor, friend.
And then Millie Osworth, of course.
Hello.
Times like these make me long for when the Defias were still around. The Cataclysm has opened a pathway from the burning steppes, and now Blackrock Orcs pour into Northshire Valley. They've taken over my vineyard and are burning it to the ground. To the ground! Please, Lightborn, that vineyard is all I have. Take my fire extinguisher and extinguish the flames at the vineyard. There still might be hope for that land. We're going to get a 6-slot bag out of this too, which is really nice quest reward early in the game. Oh my gosh, and you can see down here that the orcs really have come in here and caused a stir, burning down just about everything they see. So let's trudge on over across the river. And really no challenge at all. We're very quickly two-shotting these mobs. We do now have this extinguisher, which should be fun to try to extinguish the fires. Seemingly not a problem here. And we've hit level 5 already. We are moving at a truly insane pace to what it would have been in the past. We're at a slash playtime, of 13 minutes to hit level 5. So definitely we're talking about a different pace of play in this version of the game. Now, we've also been given Hammer of Justice, which of course is a target stun, an instant 6-second stun. You can see here, we can stun, we can deal with the fire, and we can pretty much handle this guy with no problem. So we're getting some of our really powerful skills early on in the game, learning how to play our character. So I'm going to just see if I can take a couple of these fellas at once, because it doesn't seem to be a problem for us. Now, I don't have any sort of cleave currently, but I don't think that's going to be an issue, because I'm not really taking damage. Actually, the Shield of Righteous does slam enemies in front of us, so it can be used to hit multiple enemies at once. And we'll go turn this in and see where that takes us. You'll notice the tonal shift in the music in this part, kind of adding to the sense of urgency and sense of concern. And as we head back across the river, we should get that classic music brought. I'm going to turn that up just a touch. Whoa. A Lightforged Draenei running by. Now you can see we have access, because of our warband, to all of our mounts, our heirlooms, our appearances for transmog, which is really, really fun.
You need something?
Bless your heart, Lightborn. You truly are a hero of the Alliance. Though the land is completely incinerated and there is nothing left of the vineyard but ash and debris, I still might be able to recover, right? How bad can it be?
Oh, poor Millie Osworth has had her entire land just totally destroyed, and she's giving us something, which is incredibly nice of her. We're going to get a cloak, and we're going to get a bag. Fantastic.
Greetings.
Have you killed the rampaging orc hordes?
For the Alliance.
The Blackrock orcs will surely fall now that their main force has been defeated. Only one task remains. The rampaging orc horde is led by savage beast known as Kurtok the Slayer. Kurtok is responsible for the recent invasion and must be killed if we're to have peace in the valley. Venture back east, across the river, through the vineyard, and look for the passage leading into the mountains. Kurtok will be there, preparing for another assault. Kill him and return to me.
Light bless you.
Okay, so we need to kill the leader of the Blackrock Orc over here. Now, what I find interesting is, look at this. So they're suggesting he came through a passage in the mountains over here. If you look, you'll notice the burning steps are in fact right there, and this right here is Blackrock Mountain. So kind of fun to see that, you know, you start in this beautiful area of Elwyn Forest, but up over this ridge is one of the most dangerous parts of classic WoW. The burning steps of Blackrock Mountain, where Molten Core and some of the intense raids are. So kind of cool that it's right there, and we're participating in the fight already. We're being teased of what's to come in the initial quests of the game here. It's a really nicely done thing. I think they did a nice job with this adjustment to the beginning of the questing for the human experience. Now, I'm not seeing our buddy Kurtok here, so I do wonder if maybe he was just killed. We'll, whoops. Whoa, Now, hold on. Let's see if we can down him. Not even really a problem, an easy stun. I've actually accidentally toggled on walk instead of run. We're doing an RP walk now, and I cannot figure out what hotkey put us into that. So let me just see if I can find the appropriate hotkey for this. There we go. We would have been RP walking the entire time. That would have made for a very slow Let's Play. I would feel bad about that. we'll run back to town and see if that kind of concludes this sort of part, the Northshire Vineyards, Northshire Abbey portion, which should take us down to the beloved Goldshire Inn, the town of Goldshire. You can see all the way up here we have a calendar of all the excitement that's going on. You can see what's going on with your other characters, what kind of lockouts they have. A nice warband feature as well. Some serious quality of life help here.
Need help?
With Kurtok slain, we're safe once again. From the orcish hordes, I will send peasants to the pass in an attempt to seal the passage so that no more orcs may come through into our territory. You have the thanks of Stormwind and of the Alliance. And I can grab a mace, either mace here. One is a one-hand mace, one is a two-hand. I've got to go with that Militia Warhammer, the two-hand mace. A lot is going on here. So we've been given Consecration, which is a really nice skill. It's going to build this on the ground around us. Consecrates the land beneath you, causing 21 holy damage over 12 seconds to enemy who enter the area. So that's going to actually allow me to get a little more AoE going. Lightborn, you're a paladin with proven interest in the security of Northshire. You are now tasked with the protection of the surrounding Elwyn Forest, so we're set to venture out and take on the bigger Elwyn Forest. The world expands around us. If you accept this duty, then I've prepared papers that must be delivered to Marshal Dugan in Goldshire. Goldshire lies along the southern road, past the border gates. And we're going to be given the same weapons?
For the Alliance.
That's a little strange. That seems like maybe a fault. All right, we're off to Goldshire. So let's just kind of analyze this intro quest area, because you see we start here and now we want to take on the larger area here of Elwyn Forest. But what you can see is we've already gotten quite a few skills. We're level 6, and we did that in, boy, about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Not a bad kind of intro to the way the game plays. Now here we have Falcon Eisenstrater. Every adventurer should rest when exhaustion sets in, and there's no finer place to get rest and relaxation than at the Lion's Pride Inn. My best friend Innkeeper Farley runs the Lion's Pride. If you tell him I sent you, he may give you the special discounted rates on food and drink. To find the Lion's Pride Inn, travel south along the road from here. You can't miss it. We're going to get some bracers if we stop in there. Very nice of this fella. He's out here doing business, doing marketing for his friend who owns the inn, and he's also giving me gear for going to his buddy's inn. So really a gentleman for sure. Now you can kind of notice a different stride in the human model here. A little bit more of a hop than the original model, I feel. Let's run to the Lion's Pride Inn here and just get the ambience, let it settle in a little. I'm going to turn up the music. And there it is. So as we arrive in Goldshire, I'm just hit with nostalgia. A classic area. We're going to go ahead and park ourselves in the Goldshire Inn and call that the first episode of this Let's Play. We got through this kind of tutorial beginning area. We compared what it was like to classic WoW, and here we are at the Goldshire Inn, the Lion's Pride Inn, and we will pick this up in the next episode. But go ahead and follow along, subscribe to the channel, and we'll check you back in the next one. Thanks, guys.